what do you know? I'm teaming up with my old friend John Cena again. Awesome.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's me, the media guy, back with another movie review. And as you saw from the title and thumbnail of this video, I'll be doing a second look, aka revisit edition review of Scooby-Doo and WWE WrestleMania Mystery. Yeah, if you remembered, I remember doing a double feature review of this and its sequel, Curse of the Speed Demon, a couple of months ago. So I decided, why not just revisit some of the WWE Scooby-Doo movies, mainly the first movie. And if you guys saw my original review of this, you pretty much know what to expect. But just in case you guys want a little recap or reminder about this movie, Scooby-Doo joins WWE in this tag team mystery. This all-new original movie delivers endless action with Scooby-Doo shagging the rest of the gang. The mystery begins when Shaggy and Scooby win tickets to WrestleMania and convince the crew to go with them to WWE City, which I know is probably a fictional city in this movie. But this city harbors a spooky secret. A ghastly ghost bear holds the town in his terrifying grip. To protect the Convent WWE Championship title, the gang gets help from WWE superstars like John Cena, Triple H, Sin Cara, Brodus Clay, I hope I'm saying this name right, The Miz, and Kang. Watch Scooby and the gang grapple with solving this case before it's too late. Pick up this incredible adventure for the whole family today. So after giving this movie its revisit edition treatment, I can still see why Scooby-Doo and WWE WrestleMania Mystery is still a fun movie. Great action sequences. Love all the WWE wrestlers making a guest appearance in this movie. Still has some decent animation. And like I said before in my original review, I assume that combining Scooby-Doo with WWE might be kind of weird and wacky to pull off, but hey, I guess this actually works out well. And as stated in my original review, this also has what amazing villain, the Ghost Bear. And look at him. He's kind of like a devil mixed with Yogi Bear. I know, kind of weird to combine the devil and Yogi Bear together, but I'm just saying. I mean, it is kind of neat how Scooby and the gang won a trip to WrestleMania, all because of a video game Shaggy and Scooby were playing. And I guess it came with a prize for them to pay a visit to WWE City. Which, based on the movie, even though it was only made up for this movie, I honestly think WWE City looks like a pretty fun place to visit. I mean, I'm no expert on WWE in general. Okay, maybe it's technically true because I have been watching dozens of clips of WWE in general. Heck, just a couple of days ago, I shared my thoughts on the Jetsons and WWE Robo WrestleMania. And I did mention this before in my original review, and I'll say it again. I am familiar with John Cena, since he was part of the WWE Superstars for a while now, and now he's working on all sorts of various movies and TV projects. He played Fred Figglehorn's dad in the Fred trilogy. And I think right now he's also working on other movies and TV shows. I think he was in some kind of secret agent type movie with Awkwafina, if I'm correct. And I know he's actually playing a lawyer in Coyote vs. Acme, which I assumed you guys already knew that before. So it proves that John Cena is still in the acting business. Which is actually fine by me. I mean, he's not the only WWE actor. I mean, he's not the only WWE superstar to get into the movie business. Hulk Hogan also tried it at some point, and so is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, another guy I'm also familiar with. And I'm surprised that both Hulk Hogan and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson didn't make an appearance in this movie. I mean, just imagine if they did at some point. Not sure if they would serve much of a purpose, but hey, I'm just saying. And as for the rest of the WWE superstars, I probably said this before and I'll say it again. I am familiar with most of them. I already mentioned Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, John Cena, and Hulk Hogan. There's also The Miz and AJ Lee, and even the chairman of the WWE himself, Vince McMahon. I'm also familiar with him as well. And I also know that he will also come back to reprise his role as, well, himself again in the sequel, Curse of the Speed Demon. As well as appearing as himself in the Jetsons and WWE Robo WrestleMania, which I might leave a link to that video in the description for you guys to check out. And I know he even played a caveman version of himself, Mr. McMagma, and the Flintstones and WWE
Stone Age SmackDown.
You know, someday I might pick up the DVD at some point. Yeah, that's the only one I still don't have. The Flintstones and WWE Stone Age SmackDown. I should probably pick that up someday, depending on what I'm doing. And yes, there is a bit of a running gag in this movie about Fred being a little bit jealous of Daphne liking John Cena so much. I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't blame her though. I don't blame Daphne, but yeah, I can understand I can understand how and why Fred can be a little bit jealous. And I know that all the WWE superstars are probably not like actors per se, but I think all of them did their best with what they were given. Especially John Cena, who ironically would end up becoming a Hollywood actor too, just like with Hulk Hogan and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And seeing Scooby and the gang seeing Scooby and Shaggy trying to take down Kang during a new WWE event is quite insane but nutty. Yeah, probably because Scooby was framed from stealing the championship belt, despite his protests. Don't you just hate that old cliche? Someone getting framed for something they didn't even do or aware of? I mean, hey, desperate times calls for desperate measures, you know. Shaggy and Scooby they agreed to fight Kang for their own good, and it was the only way for them to clear their names. And I know I mentioned this in my original review a few months ago, but hey, doesn't hurt to bring this up again. And I gotta admit, Kang is sort of like a red herring in this movie. I guess he sort of had sort of disappeared after a different WWE match that happened. So he is kind of like a good red herring because you don't even know if he is like the ghost bear or not. And I kind of did laugh a little bit during the beginning of the movie a little bit. When the Miz first encounters the Ghost Bear, the two of them do start to fight a little bit. And the Ghost Bear just smacks the daylights out of the Miz so hard, he starts flying out of his clothes. Now, in real life, that probably would have been impossible to pull off, but hey, this is just a cartoon, you know. I mean, anything can happen. And I think I did mention this before in my original review, and I'll just bring it up again. One of the TV viewers who watched this at home we actually got a cameo by a different variation of the characters from Young Justice. Heck, I even made a YouTube shorts about it a few months ago to prove it. And even Scooby-Topia himself brought this up when he also did a retrospective video on this and the sequel, Curse of the Speed Demon. And like I said before in my original review, but I'm guessing that's technically the closest we ever get to a Young Justice Scooby-Doo crossover at some point. Which I also find it ironic because I think one of the people who worked on this movie also worked on Young Justice as well. So again, I think this is technically the closest we ever get to a Young Justice Scooby-Doo crossover at some point. I mean, I know that's not what the filmmakers were intending on doing, but hey, I'm just taking a wild guess here. I'm just trying to take a wild guess here to see if it makes sense or not. But yeah, that is like a cute little Easter egg, you know? I mean, how many movies do you know that would have certain DC characters make a quick cameo in a certain Scooby-Doo related TV show or movie? Probably not a lot, to be honest, now that I think about it. Now, since I probably mentioned in my original review that I won't spoil anything, but for the sake of this Revisit Edition review, the Ghost Bear was revealed to be Ruben's uncle, Cookie. And if you watched this movie in general, or saw Scooby-Topia's video on this, you pretty much know why he took advantage of the Ghost Bear legend in the first place. And I'm sorry for the little spoilers, but I had to bring it up at some point. So anyways, Scooby-Doo and WWE WrestleMania Mystery might be a very goofy movie, but hey, it's still a lot of fun to watch, whether you're fans of wrestling, Scooby-Doo, or both. And that's totally understandable. And I know it may not be a perfect movie for some of you, but it's still an okay movie to enjoy. And if you haven't seen this movie yet, I highly recommend checking out the DVD at some point. Or at least check out my original review of this movie, as well as other people talking about it. And trust me, you'll love it. And I think John Cena is still a great guy. I mean, I haven't actually met him in person per se, but if I do get a chance to meet him at some point, maybe I'll ask him what it was like to work on Scooby-Doo and WWE WrestleMania Mystery, as well as the Flintstones crossover movie Stone Age SmackDown. I'm not sure if he'll remember working on these, but hey, it depends, so I'll give this movie 5 WWE logos out of 5, since it is a great movie. And don't forget, tomorrow I will be sharing my thoughts on... I will be doing a Revisit Edition review of the sequel, Curse of the Speed Demon, tomorrow. Stay tuned.